RFK Jr.'s lawyer is calling a New York Times report misleading after the paper published this story saying the lawyer asked the FDA to revoke approval of the polio vaccine. Aaron Siri isn't disputing filing a polio vaccine petition on behalf of a client, but says Kennedy had no association with it, telling News Nation any ties to RFK Jr. is an attempt to, quote, derail Kennedy's potential confirmation as Trump's head of the Department of Health and Human Services.
All of this is intended for one purpose. They're desperately trying to derail Mr. Kennedy's potential confirmation.
Siri is also disputing the Times report, suggesting he wanted to take the polio vaccine off the market. The Times wrote, the lawyer helping Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pick federal health officials for the incoming Trump administration has petitioned the government to revoke its approval of the polio vaccine, which for decades has protected millions of people from a virus that can cause paralysis or death. That campaign is just one front in the war that the lawyer is waging against vaccines of all kinds. Mr. Siri has also filed a petition seeking to pause the distribution of 13 other vaccines. A few paragraphs down, the Times wrote, like Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Siri insists he does not want to take vaccines away from anyone who wants them. You want to get the vaccine? It's America, a free country. He did not mention the petitions he has lodged on behalf of ICANN with the FDA, asking regulators to withdraw or suspend approval of vaccines not only for polio, but also for hepatitis B.
The claim that the New York Times is making to the country, that everybody in the country believed that somehow this petition by ICANN, not Mr. Kennedy, had nothing to do with him, never discussed it with him, this petition would have left Americans without a polio vaccine. That claim is categorically false. They knew it was false when they published it. They intended the country to be misled, and that's what they accomplished.
Siri is not part of the polio vaccine petition, but serves as legal representation for ICANN, filing the petition on their behalf. We found the petition online so we can see what exactly it's requesting. It's asking the FDA to publicly release documentation sufficient to establish that the aluminum content in each subject vaccine is consistent with amount provided in its labeling. But if the FDA is unable to comply with that request, ICANN wants the FDA to pause distribution of each subject vaccine until it can provide the documentation. Siri says the goal of the petition was never to take the vaccine off the market.
ICANN does not really want, and nor do they ever expect, the vaccine to be withdrawn. This is about choice. It's about informed consent. That's the point. That's the focus.
While RFK Jr. was not part of this petition, his stance on vaccines has been a focal point in news coverage since his nomination to lead the department that is over the FDA. Most recently, Kennedy has said he is not anti-vaccine, but has previously been highly critical over certain vaccinations. Republican senators say those past remarks Kennedy will have to answer to during the confirmation hearings. And some Senate Republicans are even calling on Kennedy to now fire his lawyer Siri over the controversy. Our political correspondent Ray Bogan has a full report on what to expect during Kennedy's confirmation hearing, and you can find that story by downloading the Straight Arrow News mobile app or visit us online at san.com.